One, two, three, four, five, six. What's up, y'all? It's D Train with your D Train's bunk. Yeah. So I'm finished changing the oil. That's done. Took the oil up to the oil place and done that. See, these kids, they think they slick. I went inside while I was checking the oil, right? And I looked over and the tablet was gone. But I was changing the oil, so every once in a while, when the kids not beating each other up, shooting at each other with BB guns, and okay, that was a joke for y'all people with no sense of humor. But this zipper is weird, dude. Trying to get my zipper straight. So yeah, I got this friend, right, and every once in a while, sometimes you think you come up with situations arise where certain friends of yours of yours, their spirits come back, and you can kind of hear their voices. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're in the same room with you, and you just imagining what they would say in certain situations. And this Kevin Hart thing, man, it reminded me of a good friend of mine. Man, me and her, we never did anything. Okay, so just like, first of all, get that. Me and her were tight. We just like clicked. We just, you know what I'm saying? It was just like we could talk to each other. We could kind of understand each other. We could have really good conversations about things, right? And just like with other friends of mine. But in certain points of your life, you spend more time with certain people, you know. And at this point, we used to hang out and, you know, just have a few talks, talk about things. And so when this Kevin Hart thing came up, I was like, I was listening to it. I was like, okay, so Kevin Hart. First thing I heard was, okay, be the Oscars, announcer, host guy, right? And like a day or two later, it was like they trying to take Kevin Hart away from doing that because of some statements he made back in the day. And I'm like imagining this conversation with my friend, and then I could imagine her saying, "Okay, so what did he say?" And it was like, well, something about his son. Hopefully he wouldn't be gay if coming from a male point of view. And then I could see her saying, "Oh, okay, all right. So so when did he say this again?" It's like, "Oh, well, he said it in 2009." And I could see her just be like, "Huh, 2009, and and this didn't come up." And then you had to be like, "Well, yeah, it came up, and apologize for it publicly a few times." And so I could see her face saying, "Oh, so this happened like 9 years ago. It came out, and he apologized for it before, but they still want to go after him for it." And then I could hear her laugh. Because that's all you can really do. Now, where did I think where he went kind of like sideways was when he said Trump can suck it, because that prior to that he had stayed kind of out of the fray on politics. And then it was like one of the music things. I think he was like one of the hosts. So he had already hosted other things, movie after movie, and no hit. And then, if you remember, hold on. Let me go back. So hosted stuff, movie after movie, no problems. Um, Trump can suck it, right? And that's when I believe things went south because that was almost like a concession. Okay, if this is what you want me to do, I'll do this much. And I feel like once they got you to, once they something, they get you to try to do more, and they say, okay, well that ain't enough. It's kind of like this Silent Sam thing going on. They said, bring it, take it. It should be in a museum somewhere. Now they want to put it in a museum, and it's going to cost money to put it in a place where it can be in its own place. And now that's not good enough. Now they want you to move it off campus. What if they move it off campus? It's going to cost money to move it off campus. What if it costs more money to move it off campus and put it in somewhere, right? Now you don't want them to spend it on that. So what's ever going to be good enough? So at some point you're going to have to stand and say enough is enough, and that's I think what he tried to do. Okay, so now let's go back. Who do I think is behind it? Well, if you remember, before that time when he told Trump to suck it, who was on his back about being not gung ho enough against this president? You remember? Yeah, yeah. The lady, the redhead lady that held up a replica of a severed Trump head. Yeah, that lady. You know, and I hate to throw around the word racist, but in light of some of these things that I've seen, it doesn't really matter what race you are. If you're not lockstep with what they want, they try to destroy you, no matter how much good you or may have done. You need to be exactly what they want. And at some point, it's got to be like enough is enough. Let me see. Did I have something written down? Yeah, I did, but I think I said everything I got to say about this. You got to wonder what's gonna come down first. Is it gonna be Hollywood? Is Hollywood coming down? Is this what we're seeing, or is it gonna be Hollywood's gonna take people down, or are the people who disagree with this whole move to just have people completely erased? Is it going to come to a head? And when they start saying, you know what, I'm voting for Trump because you people are crazy. If I'm gonna take this hit anyway, I gotta fight it. If you're gonna take that hit anyway, it's like you best off fighting. How many other people out there? I mean, what if Kanye West had one other top hitter saying, you know what? Yeah, this something ain't right. Kind of like a Kevin Hart. Something ain't right. Patrice O'Neal, I was listening to some of his work, his earlier work before he passed, and it's so prophetic. Go back and listen. Just to pick, hey, pick any of them. Pick any of his work. Any of it. Go listen. Okay, just say Patrice O'Neal, stand up, listen to it. All of it is prophetic, damn near. So anyway, I'm gonna go see if these kids still moving around in there, and yeah, just at some point we're gonna have to stand up against the craziness together. I mean, we coming together kind of, but still not on a level where I feel like it probably needs to be for people just regular people, not so regular, I guess, in most people's eyes. You know, I know it's hard, man, because it's a lot of power out there. They can, you know, but I don't know what it is, man. It's like once you get to a certain level of influence, you're more responsible for more people's livelihoods, and they did it to Roseanne. You're more responsible for more people, and you don't want to shake things up too much because that means if they can take you down, they're taking everybody around you down. Which really, you got to look at Trump again. They trying to take everybody down around him. So when you get a little bit off message or not as on message as someone else would want you to, at some point you're gonna have to just like shut it down because they'll take you down anyway. Just shut it. It's about time to start picking sides for some people. You see what they doing to Trump every which way, left, right, you know, left coast, right coast, or right northern, you know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you to do. I try not to tell people what to do, but it's getting serious out here. Anyway, it's D Train. I'm pretty sure I had a few more things to say, but I'll probably say it at another time. I'll be like, oh man, I should have said this. I thought of some stuff I wanted to say in the other video. I was like, damn, I should have wrote that down, man. Anyway, peace out. So, therefore, on the other hand, nevertheless, word, peace.